Let's see. Chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, etc., etc. Let's listen to Lara Fabian. Let's listen to Lara Fabian. Let's play the book. There you go.
I truly believe it's impossible to explain how you genuinely write a song. Something happens, there's something magical about that. There is something you can't explain that goes through you like a storm.
Who remembers the show Friends? Because right now, this is the Rachel. She has a lot of charisma. I love a real string section. Everything right now that's orchestra is done, as far as like live performances, it's almost always sampled instruments, and that's for a reason. Sampled instruments now sound absolutely crazy accurate, but it's not the same thing. So to hear like a real orchestra with her is a real delight. The way she looks and where you go. It's crazy to go from this, or to go from like that crazy like 80s, 90s like belting thing that she was a part of. That performance is nuts. So much belting, so much vocal extremes, but like right off, she's not a one-trick pony. She can do everything. This intimate start is so bold. You have to start to give yourself enough time to grow throughout the piece. But this is really, really gentle, which I like. And notice how her decrescendos, her, the diminuendo, the quieting down, right? Part of that is mic technique, which is smart. Use what you have, right? It's right there. Tell me again, I want to hear. This E with the pursed lip is noteworthy. Well, let's just get into it for now. This. Watch how her lips will come forward. There's a reason why that's significant. Right? When we round off the lips, we round off the tone. And it makes sense when you're trying to do like something really intimate the way she's doing to go for this. It's a really good decision. That just the expressivity of just the consonants and the vowels are incredible. That intimate pursed lip thing. That little, like a little snarl, like a look at disgust, And then she goes right back to this intimate. Her ability to control dynamics is like, I'm so envious of how good she is. It's hard when you hear some great singing like this and then you'll never do it. Just the dynamics are so good. That has a lot to do with her posture and how relaxed she is. It's really, 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 if your posture isn't just so, you're going to be contending with like your torso kind of compressing. The lungs don't have structure of their own, right? So the lungs are not tied. They're basically glued to your rib cage and your inner torso with a sort of a viscous outer layer. So there's no structure to the lungs outside of what you're doing with your torso. So, and it's interesting when people say diaphragmatic breathing. If your diaphragm ain't working, you're dead. That thing works whether or not you want it to, unless you're dead. There's no nerve endings on the diaphragm. Obviously, it's really important. Obviously, it's the primary muscle responsible for inhaling and exhaling, but you don't have control over it. So the best thing you can do, instead of worrying about diaphragm, is to worry about your posture and your torso. But it's really, really tricky because it's not just a matter of stretching your lats and all that stuff. Like your hips absolutely affect how your shoulders work. So when we look at her posture, look at how relaxed she is. It matters quite a bit. I love the end of that phrase. I love this. That's a really strong choice. That's heart-wrenching. That's a beautiful decision. That legato, that long line, this gentle, like she's just singing it so smooth. And then when she gets to how at the end of the phrase, instead of giving it like a little bit of a time, she just cuts it off. That's really, oof. This vowel switching that she's doing is also really incredible. It's worth mentioning that this is done very gently. What she's about to do right here is done incredibly gently. Oh boy, that's nice. Again with that how. Again with that ending after this amazingly powerful phrasing. I'm getting a little verklempt. That modulation was really, really nice. So before the modulation on the word vow, the pitch, like when you're singing that gently, it can be really, really, really difficult to adjust pitch, but she does it. That's not easy. When you're singing that gently, to try and adjust pitch is really tough, because part of getting to the right pitch, one of these days I need to get the bigger pieces of paper, but there's something called the Bernoulli effect. So what the Bernoulli effect is, so you see how those two pieces of paper are coming together? That's how you have to, bring your folds together. And the thickness of your folds matters when you want to sing light, right? You don't want very thick folds when you want to sing light. So the folds are barely adducting here. And she's still able to correct it, which is really, really kind of nuts. Listen to the rasp on these notes. This is not something to technically imitate, because what's happening is she's just in it, and she's using a lot of air, so there's like the folds are kind of leaking air, and there's a little bit of false fold connection. This is not, I don't think this is on purpose. I think she's just really passionate right now, but this is not like clean technique. And if you tried to mimic this to get the emotional effect, it would come across as pedantic. So it's not bad. It's like, it's heartfelt, and it's like, oof, feelings. That sincerity is something else. Like her lips are literally quivering. What dumbfounds me is her lip will quiver, she'll go there emotionally, but her body is still relaxed. The amount of command she has over her instrument is ludicrous. When I was in conservatory, the acting coach said, it's emotional athleticism, right? You have to be able to feel big, but be able to not get tight, not be overwhelmed by that. And it's really tough. It's so tough.